So I've been making games for 1 year now, and this is my journey. So I was like 8, I was going on the computer and I came across this little program called Game Salad. Games, and that was my dream back then, so I downloaded it. I was immediately blown away by how complicated everything looked, so I deleted it. And then 4 months later, I came across this little program called Unity. I downloaded it, watched some tutorials, and then I realized to make games, you must have this little skill called coding. Now you gotta remember, I was still 9 and a complete dumbass. So I tried to copy code, but none of the code I copied worked. So I left Unity. And then 1 year later, I came back to Unity to, give it a second shot. I'm like 10 years old and still a complete dumbass. So I found this channel called Brackies and followed his tutorials. His tutorials were really great and helpful. And I finally learned coding. So I made my first game, Animaling. And I really enjoyed working on it. I regularly showed it to my dad, the progress I had made. And this is also a tip for beginner game developers. Always show your work. Whether it's your friends, your family, or random strangers online, always show your work. And as far as first games go, I'm pretty proud of mine. It's finished and it's not horrible. Yeah. So I made my second game, Bear the Hair, which was a puzzle game with the world's hardest boss. So I just kept making games and kept improving and honing my skill. I made tons of games. I made another puzzle game. I made a multiplayer game, which me and my dad had loads of fun with, chasing each other around. I made another platformer game, which is much better than my first. I made Shark Tale, the game. I also made this game called Beast Slayer. It's a boss rush where you can defeat tons of bosses. I made a 3D sword fighting game which was a complete failure. And I also made a mobile game called Dodge Fest. It's a fun game where you have to dodge around enemies, inspired by Just Shapes and Beats, which is also an amazing game, by the way. And I published it to Play Store for free. And this is where my most recent project lies. I'm currently making a third-person PS1 style platformer where you can explore different worlds to get stars to unlock more worlds. It's inspired by the Mario games, and that's my complete journey. I highly suggest game development to anyone that actually wants to try it. It's way more rewarding than other types of software development because you can actually physically see your progress. And also all of the games I've mentioned are available on my itch.io. So yeah, that's all folks.